कैमरा आ रही गयो तू
રેકોર્ડ કરવાનો
यार
Hi. Hello, everybody.
Hi. Is this working?
So the hall is not AC. So one task will be given by us. Use charcoal. Make a, godadi बनाइए ना अपने. So make a godadi of charcoal. Okay? And just hang it next to your window, the upper window. All side. It will cool down this atmosphere. Okay?
Add water to it. So.
And you can, of course, like we
Drip
use
irrigation.
this drip irrigation, you can put a little bit water on top of it. Use charcoal, it will cool down.
So hi everybody, I am Bhadri
And I am Snehal.
from the gRID Architects. It's a pleasure to see all of you, and so thanks, so many thanks that you all waited for us with so much of patience. And I'm sure since they introduced us, you don't need to know much, but would like to share with you the kind of philosophy that we follow is biophilic philosophy that we follow for most of our designs. We try and follow it. And biophilic is a new word, but it has been there with the Indian system since ages. Sustainability is also part of the Indian culture since the ancient times. I'm sure all of you know that, our mothers, our grandmothers, I'm sure you know how things get recycled and reused in our homes, isn't it? But we have named it sustainability now, or recycling and reclaimed. So biophilia essentially means love for nature, means bringing living plants or living things into our living spaces, nature into our living spaces, essentially. And then some features of biophilic design are using wood, using plants which breathe oxygen, a lot of sunlight, higher ceilings, larger windows, ventilation, and so on and so forth. Our human, sorry?
And also bringing visual connection to the nature. Okay, bringing nature into your living spaces.
So our human behavior depends on the kind of spaces we move in, and in retrospect, it is again guided by the space that we are moving in. Both are interrelated and interdependent. Over the years, we, Snehal and I also, after establishing the gRID Architects, have developed some fundamentals of design which help us through meet our ethics that we want to follow in designing. And one must become increasingly conscious of developing a design which conveys a message, you know, which tells you that, oh, I have designed this, and how does it help Mother Earth? Or are we concerned about the inefficient designs that happened around us? Or how our work contributes to creating honest and meaningful designs? Some key aspects to the kind of design, or you know, there are children who ask us, "Okay, what do you do? How do you design? How do you start? What are the thought processes that you have?" So some key factors that we keep in mind, you can see them coming here, and those are the points that we keep in mind: functionality, site context, location, you know, being truthful to the brief, being truthful to the material that you're using, trying to use natural materials, honest approach towards the project, in the sense ki if the project is not asking for marble, then, and if it is asking for rough quota, then why not? Not embellishing it with something that it is not asking for, but having less of cosmetic layering, or rather no cosmetic layering. So we are here to share some of our works and the difficulties that we had, the challenges that we faced, and what we learned from them.
So again, I would like to add some things. Honesty means the purpose. So for what purpose you are designing the building or spaces, you have to justify the product, justify the design by your honesty, rather than just you want to create some eye candy to just put on Instagram and all. Don't do like this. Be honest to your work, whether it is needed or not. Okay? So that is again a key factor for designing anything.
Yeah. So this is a very interesting project, Rope Terrace Cafe. Two young boys came to us. We want to do a startup, and as usual, we don't have money, and time is a constraint. So, and the space that they had was on a terrace. But the punch thing was that it was surrounded by NIFT, by NID, by TCS, and a lot of other offices. So it had to be a trending place, a fast moving place. Another important factor, because it was under terrace, was bylaws of the building, that we cannot do a permanent or a semi-permanent kind of a structure. So the rope fabric, the rope itself, you know, je dori kahiye ne, that was our inspiration. And that's how we came up with this project. Rope, if you study, if you do research, it has many attributes. It can take any shape. It is locally available. It is cost effective. You can get local craftsmen to do the job for you. It does not retain heat, and watered rope or watered jute keeps the surrounding cool. And one more thing is, the jute plant absorbs carbon dioxide and releases oxygen at a rate of several times higher than trees. So many things, you know, which can add to it. We did face some challenges. Snehal will share the challenges with you. Next.
Okay, so don't go back, just. So basically, we are here, we are going to share our mistakes and our learning, because you all are students, even we are students. We are here to learn from you also. It's just a vice versa. So what happened then when we are designing this rope cafe? Of course, Bhadri told you that we want to cover this terrace with non-permanent structure. So we were thinking, lot of thinking were going on. Then we realized rope will be the ideal material, because it doesn't retain heat also, because since it is on the terrace. So why can't we go for this? But that time we didn't realize that even rope has a weight. Okay, so when we started tying this, okay, we realized that the pipe is sagging. So during designing, we were not aware of it. But while the execution was going on, and suddenly the pipes, you know, started sagging. So that was a challenge. Now, what to do? So what we did, we introduced a column, a pipe column, which is not visible here. And at the same time, what we did, to decrease the weight of the rope, we angled the canopy. So we decreased the size of the canopy. And we decreased the size of the canopy in such a way, just by covering it partially, we can get the shadow. The shadow will cover the entire terrace. So we studied the sun path, okay, and then we decide the angle. And since the pipe was bending, we introduced one more pipe over there, and we created one more canopy, and we created one more sitting there. So this was the challenge. And now, what was the second challenge? Next. The second challenge was, since it was on the terrace, so we all know what we put on the terrace, a white terrazzo or white china mosaic, okay? And when we go to the restaurant or cafe, the white color was so glittery, it was hurting eyes. So that was challenge. Now what to do? Because china mosaic layer is basically a waterproofing layer on the top of the surface, right? So if we do something, we'll damage the waterproofing layer. So what to do now? Of course, we have to use material which doesn't absorb heat. And of course, budget was the main criteria. So what to do? Then again, we were thinking and we realized that bubble wood, આપણે જે બાવળ કહીએ ને ગાંડો બાવળ, so that is the cheapest option was available. And we were getting it free of cost because nobody uses bubble. So we went to the forest department and of course they were very happy to give us. So we took that bubble tree, we cut it. The challenge was now how to apply it because we cannot nail it. Once you nail it, you will break the waterproofing layer. Again, the water will seepage. Okay. So what we did, we created this aluminum box section modules. So we used the salvage of aluminum boxes, which we use for windows, aluminum windows, and on top of that, we just screwed this this bubble wood, and we have created this kind of modules. And we simply, like a jigsaw puzzle and the puzzle which we make, like puzzle, we just installed it. So we didn't have to screw down. Okay, simply just we have put it, and that is how we created this wooden flooring on the surface. So that was a learning for us. We'll show you the video how it is looking. Is it there?
It's there. You can realize when you see the video that both sides are open. So one is totally southwest. So how to protect the terrace? Ahmedabad heat is so much, it's harsh heat. So protecting from the southwest, we used reclaimed corrugated sheets. We had reclaimed wooden panels which were set at an angle to guide the wind. Then we had plants there so the the wind gets slightly cool and come in. So to meet all these challenges, lot of things were introduced, but also these challenges are normally met on site only. We have a small video to show you.
You can see these supports, which we have introduced later on. But sometimes challenges are your friend. They will push you extra to create something new.
The Road Terrace Cafe was handcrafted from local materials by local artisans to create a sustainable, low-carbon footprint design. A humble material rope, stylishly used for a cafe, redefining the meaning of an organic traditional material. To construct environmentally conscious spaces, rope, recycled and reclaimed wood, green plants, and sustainable and cost-effective materials are used here in this design. The key feature along with the material rope in this design is sunlight. The angles of the rope weaved canopy was such that the parked canopy created shadow for the rest of the terrace. The southwest facade features reclaimed corrugated sheets as a protective layer from the harsh sunlight. Contemporizing craft and re-emphasizing how craft, material, method and design reassures that natural material and design is an inclusive way of life.
So this was one of our project.
This is a small organic store.
Yes. So this is an organic store which we had designed for a young guy who wanted to set up a chain of organic store, organic products they wanted to sell. So when they approached us, uh, we sat with him, we had discussion with him, and then he took us to his farmland. And when we went there, we saw a big gaushala there, and lot of gobar was there, right? So the immediately, spontaneously, what we have realized that why can't we use gobar as a material to, to design this store? So when we proposed this, he got angry on us. हमको लगा ये project गया, because अरे sir, this is the first store we are going to make it, and you are asking for gobar. How can you do this? This is such an important place. It was expensive place to make a store. So I said, see, there is nothing to lose in it, right? Gobar is free of charge. If you don't like it, just remove it. We'll keep the plan B ready. And we managed to convince him. Since the product was and it is such a humble material. We normally we don't take this kind of risk to use this kind of material. But what happened? A small material, even the I think cheapest material, not even, you don't have to pay anything, but your content and your honesty towards the project, we stuck to our honesty, how to design it, how to go about it. That really paid to us. And what happened, this store all the way went to the London, and we were nominated with, imagine, Stephen Hall. So we were nominated with Stephen Hall just because of this gobar. Just imagine. So it's all about the honesty about your project. Okay.
About the approach, fundamentally, as we were discussing, the purpose for what you're designing. So you're selling organic products, and how can we have a cosmetic store, cosmetic interior, selling organic products? And we experimented with this gobar, because सीधा तो नहीं लगा सकते, because it has to stay also. We're not going to do leapern every month. So we experimented on site only, where we mixed this cow dung with hay, with the local, gum which is available in that place only.
So that gum called S.A.S.
S.A.S.
The
Yeah.
S.A.S. is the gum which were used by our ancient people were using S.A.S. Your parents must be doing it. What is gum? That time Favicol and everything was not available. So basically, this, when you cut bubble tree or neem ka tree, some liquid will come out. So that is basically a gum. People were using those liquid as a gum.
And cow dung has so many, again, detailing, research, justifying, purpose, again, that cow dung has so many attributes. It's a natural insect repellent. It's a natural, disinfectant. It retains the incense. हम जो अगरबत्ती करते हैं, उसका smell वो retain करता है. And then the store doesn't smell of the products, but it has a good smell. It is a mood enhancer. So many attributes. It absorbs the, it even reduces the CO2 levels. It emits almost no VOC. So many attributes cow dung has. Next. This is
how it looks.
some pictures. वो चक्की, अभी वापस वी आर गोइंग बैक कि हम चक्की, हाथ से चक्की पीसा हुआ आटा खाते हैं तो पेट में नहीं दुखता है. So again people are going back to that, isn't it? Next. This is another project. So we have a mix of architecture projects and interior projects, because we want to talk to you, share with you our learnings and how we went about, following our principles that we have found along our journey of practicing as designers. So mitti ke rang again when the client came to us, same budget, time, but हमको एक बात पता चली that they are potters, कुम्हार बोलते हैं ना. So we said चलो तो फिर उसी से कुछ करते हैं. And they said कि हम ही सब कर सकते हैं, whatever you say. So again we took clay, because they were making already terracotta stuff, clay stuff. So we said okay, so clay became our main hero of this narrative. So clay में भी again mixed turmeric, जिसको हल्दी बोलते हैं, then husk, that becomes the reinforcement, and केसुडो फूल आता है, flame of forest. Uska dye extract karke we mixed, and we experimented on site because obviously you just can't mix karke laga diya. The ratio and proportions have to be experimented. And we are proud to say that we didn't add any single, unnatural additive to it. And the client himself only put the paste. फिर painting भी उन्होंने site पे किया. The tableware also comes from home, so everything was almost free of cost. So that was very, very important. And of course, sunlight, the main factor for mental and healthy well-being, and Biophilic का भी बहुत important feature है. That also added to this project. Next. This is the process of making music. आपका sound आ रहा है.
Us little bit of gum and natural gum. I think they skip the application, how they were were applying that. But this is how it is looking. See, no color, no cosmetic color, no synthetic color, no Asian paint, nothing. This is how it is looking. And even the lights, what you are seeing here, this is made out of this jute which you have used here. Okay, and all this jute we got from this शादी के मंडप में जो निकाल देते हैं, the same jute we have used to make this lights. So the thing is, as Bhadri mentioned about budget, okay, so all of you are student, someday you will start your own practice, okay. I would advise you that don't only aspire for a bigger and huge project, okay. A small project, budget project, will also, create a huge opportunity for you. And of course, make friendship with word called budget. Don't just run away from budget, because if you play with budget and some challenges, it will enhance your skill of being spontaneous. Sometimes, so many times you need to react spontaneously at the site, the way we have reacted at the site when we introduced this pole. We were not knowing about the weight of the rope. Similarly, this kind of projects are literally challenging for an architect. Imagine some client will ask you, do whatever you wish to do. There is no budget limit. Then also you'll get confused. At the same time, some client will ask you, there is no budget, you just do it for us. Then again, it is a challenge for you. Over the period of time, you will have a balanced way of practicing it. Okay, what to do, what to not to do, where to stop, and what is, again, indirectly we learn what is the minimalistic. These are the cohesive process, a learning process. So this is again, this is our office basically. This is my office entrance, okay, and this is the reception of it, entrance desk, and we have named our office as Eunoia. Eunoia is our office. Eunoia means, it's a Greek word, it's about truth and honesty. Okay, so what we have done, whatever we have used in our office, it's in its original and nude form. It's all about honesty. We have not hidden anything. See the material, whatever the material we have used, it's in original form. We have not covered it with any color, any pigment, or any other cosmetic things. And how we design it, this is all again all about detailing. So one of our designing aspects, what we were showing to you, this is about a tribute, or again showing a gratitude to Mother Earth. So no. So this is the designing process, but what is it all about? Just can you go back? Can you go back? So this is natural stone, the black stone which you are looking here, that depicts Mother Earth. The wooden log, which depicts the nature on Mother Earth, and this living tree depicts the life on it. Okay, this is how we achieve this design, and a very small detailing we have worked out over here. You can see this MS plate on which this cantilever log is there. Next. This is our designing process. This is a MS plate just to keep a small laptop rather than make it too much cluttery at the reception or at the entrance desk. A simple wooden log supported by MS. Again, it is rustic and open. We have not even colored it, and that's all. This is our entrance desk where people can understand our philosophy, that how honestly and how truthfully you are working to your profession.
So the word sustainable has become a fashion, but we appeal to everybody whom we meet that please don't use it fashionably, but mean it, include it in your lifestyle. Next. Some close-ups for the desk.
And as Bhadri mentioned, that sustainability has it has become a fashion. Similarly, the social media. Okay, social media is also become a fashion. Of course, you have also making it live, but again, you have to use social media wisely, because what social media is doing, again, that we have learned is, social media shows you trending things, okay? And trending things makes us confuse between what is popular and what is right. Okay, we get confused what is popular and what is right. So use social media wisely. The pictures which you are looking at social media may be confusing. It's just eye candy created to attract the people. Otherwise, contextually, it may not be right also. Okay.
Next. Okay, a small office for a farmer again, farmer's den, and same guy wanted to, his only brief was that મને હું જેવું ઘરે રહું છું ને એવી ઓફિસ જોઈએ, મતલબ मैं जैसा रहता हूँ वैसी मेरी ऑफिस है. I want openness, I want to be connected to nature, to garden, to trees, and of course he wanted workspace for himself and for his future sons, because obviously they were going to expand their organic business, agriculture, and they have a huge land bank around it. So the combination of all this made Farmer's Den. So the design reflects the philosophy of honesty and principles of modern design inspired by tradition. So you can play the next. We have a small video to show you, but we need. The fishes. That's the southwest.
So again, what we have learned, what mistake we made here. When I wanted that southwest part, the client wanted, this is the southwest of the project, and client wanted it open. I don't want any AC, okay? So that was a challenge given by client. And what we have done, we have raised the ground level by creating some mounds. And top of that mounds, we have put this big trees, huge native plants. so that, when the sunset is there, all the shadow will come inside the space, and which will make this indoor area cooler. One more thing happened when we delivered this site. After first rain, what happened? We found that some fishes were dying. So client called us that fishes are dying. So we were surprised and we said, okay, there must be something wrong with giving foods and all. But it is a koi fish. So generally koi fish, it's a very sustainable fish. Okay, koi fish life is more than 80 years. It's very sturdy fish. So we were surprised. Then again we waited for some time, and when next rain came again, and the same thing happened. So again, client called me, no, we want to remove it. We don't want this. Fishes are dying. So I said, because we did a lot of homeworks about this putting fish in the water, because fishes are very good for water. Whenever you are giving this water body to any project, put fishes into it, because it will create its own ecosystem. It will not let the mosquito get breed. So it is very good thing to have inside the water. And client was now reluctant to have it. So we did one thing. We just took a sample of water and we went for
Lab testing.
test. And where we have realized there are in the presence of some chemical. And what was that chemical? The chemical was actually coming from the shingles what we have put on the roof. Okay. So of course then it was not washed. Once it is applied, it was not washed. So after first rain, when the first rain came, with the rainwater, it just came into this water body. And we deliberately kept this edge of this roof above this water body, so that when the rain comes, we can hear this trickling sound of rainwater. So along with that water, the chemical was also coming into this water body, and because of that, fishes were dying. So we emptied the entire pool, we washed it, we washed the top surface of the gazebo and the roof, and then again we applied it. Again we put fishes back, and now I think it has multiplied by so many numbers. Now it is not dying. So that is again a learning lesson for us. So maybe this will be helpful to you in future.
Rock house. A very simple brief. Client said, I want to stay as much as possible outdoors. And the plot was not very big, but we designed the house on the southwest. So the shadow of the house helps the central portion to stay cool throughout the day. Because again, Ahmedabad, harsh climate, sunlight, heat. So only 1/4 of the plot has been built. 3/4 has been left unbuilt with a lot of trees. Periphery also had a lot of mature trees, so we left everything untouched. We had issues because the whole structure is built in rock only. But Snehal will share those difficulties with you. You want to do it before the video or after the film?
Just go through the video, then I'll explain you.
Rock House, a holiday home, is nestled in greenest depth and is a contemporary adaptation of local architecture. The key to this project was to build the home around nature instead of weaving nature into the home. The envelope uses locally sourced Drangadra yellow stone for the foundation as well as the construction. Thus its name, Rock House. The 1 foot thick walls retain the material's honest form both inside and outside. We minimized the built form, which was designed as a shelter for essential activities, so that most of the day was spent outside. the design of our environments can impact our overall quality of life. Throughout the home, openable fully glazed windows usher in breeze and fresh air, underscoring again the philosophy of being one with nature. Warm sunlight and green trees add to the overall quality of human health and healing.
Okay, go back the images. So,
So we did a lot of research on the local material stone also. So stone itself emits no VOC, is very sustainable, has great thermal mass, almost no maintenance. So lots and lots. Stone has n number of attributes. We won't get into it. We'll just get into the difficulties that we faced.
so when we decided, when you asked us to do presentation here, हमको लगा कि यहाँ पे बड़े बड़े प्रोजेक्ट बताने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. वी आर ऑल्सो स्टूडेंट्स, वी आर ऑल्सो स्टिल लर्निंग, ओके, एंड द मोर मिस्टेक्स यू मेक द मोर थिंग यू लर्न, okay. So that is why we are showing only our mistakes and our learning, okay, and every architect goes through it. So more experiment you make, more experience you will have, and more failure you have, more success you will have. So when we were using the stone, this natural stone, again, we were not knowing, we were not, we didn't consider the weight of the stone. So when we were laying the stone, it was very easy and good for us, till 4 feet. But after 4 feet, handling the stone was so difficult because each piece of the stone were weighting around 25 kgs. So after 4 feet, after certain level, it was literally difficult for us to lay down the stone. And this site was not near to any city area. It was very far from the city. So for us, managing the labor was huge task. So again, it is about context. So this is also one aspect of the context where you are designing the house, where and when you are designing the project. So if this house would have been closer to the city area, we managed the labor, but here it was difficult. So one thing we have learned, that if you want to make this kind of structure which is not close to the city, just do the proper exercise about labor, how to manage labor, how to handle the materials. That will save lot of cost and time. So that is where we failed. But somehow we managed it. We changed couple of agencies, but it took a lot of time. One more thing, what we have realized, since it is all stone,
Natural pieces.
natural stone,
Yeah.
okay,
Each piece was different.
each piece was different. So unlike just laying the bricks, this was again difficult, because to align the each and every line of the stone, since it is not properly shaped, that was also difficult for us. And one more thing, if you are scared of insects, then don't go for this. Even though
Insects,
we-
all crawly things come into this house all the time.
So even though it is our project, we are suggesting that if you are afraid of insects, then you either you plaster it or do pointing. You can use stone. You can still use stone, but do pointing. Because there are a lot of insects are hiding in these edges, and particularly during the monsoon. And then when the heat comes, when the sun comes out, they come out and they will crawl into your houses. So I think